Well, after a month, a little over a month, I finally got this pressure, well pressure tank, a new one installed. The hole's been dug up now a month. Not too much water in it right now because the creek isn't running. This hole fills up and down with water depending on the height of the creek running. Right the other side of that orange thing there, milk crate. Now that blue tank, when this went bad on me, initially I had a fiberglass tank in here, but you can't seem to find them anymore. When that tank went bad, it's been about 7 years ago, I was sick as a dog and I hired somebody to come in and put this blue one in for me. And they dug down and they hooked it up just like you see there at the white elbow on that one. How I hooked this one up and covered it up. And it lasted roughly, I thought, 7 years. You see how it rusted around the top there. But the more I got to thinking about it, we've been battling this well for 2 years with bad pressure. I think it was because of that tank right there. Now my plans was to build some kind of box and put that in. But with the water always going up, it'd have to be waterproof. So I thought I was just going to throw it in that hole like it is right now, cover it up, and hope to hell in 7 years I'd be dead. And I wouldn't have to deal with this. Somebody else would have to worry about it. I got to thinking, battling that for 2 years, so really we only got 5 years out of that tank. Maybe four. I'd say five. But what if I got to go through this again? I don't know. I thought I could just throw this damn thing in the ground like I did before to where it worked, cover it up, not worry about it till I die. But I've been thinking about this since I did it. It's been about 3 days now. We got real nice, best water pressure ever in the trailer. I did a little adjusting on the valve over there. But I just can't rest thinking I'm doing this wrong. I'm lowering my standards because I'm old. And I don't know, I just can't rest with myself. So what I'm thinking about doing, I checked what pipe fittings I have. I got to take and unhook that at the tank right there, with that white elbow. I'm going to screw a 90-degree elbow on there and put a piece of galvanized pipe coming up out of the ground a little bit higher than the end of that tape measure. I want to be able to clear this well casing so I can go out there at the end of that tape measure. It'll be a pipe sticking up. I can take and screw that tank right down on that pipe and it'll be laying like it is on the ground right there now, except it'll be at the end of that pipe up in the air coming over top of this well casing. So basically I'm going to put an elbow and a piece of pipe where the tank's at now, throw that tank the hell up out of there, cover up that piece of pipe where it's sticking out of the ground over there at the end of that ruler. And then I'm going to take that tank and I'm going to screw it back on there. But the one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to leave a T on there and put a pressure valve because I got no way of telling pressure here. And that's always been a problem, no pressure valve or gauge. So basically I'm thinking a piece of pipe's going to be sticking out of the ground out there at the end of that tape measure, a little bit higher than this well casing, enough to screw that tank on to where when I build a box I can encapsulate the whole casing and that thing will just be sticking like a big old Peter out in front of it, I guess. What measurements we got there? 32 inches. And that tank was over 24, so that tank will just be laying there a little bit above the ground. I cover it up. You ever have any problem, you don't have to dig nothing up to change it. I'll have a gauge in the system, and I'm actually going to rewire that piece that I got bungeed to the well casing onto that new piece of pipe going over, where it'll catch its pressure there instead of a damn piece of plastic hose coming up out of the well. I'm going to cap that off and screw that gray box right into the side of that pipe. It's going to stick out there. I forgot all summer. I don't have to worry about this till cold weather, but I don't want to leave that lay in there too long. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Unless I get sick and just shove all the dirt back in. But that's my plans. I'm glad I didn't cover it up. Look at that. It's been down so long the weeds are growing on the dirt. But I got all the pipes I need except for 2 pieces of galvanized pipe and 1 elbow. And somebody hold the end of that pipe while I bury it so that it sticks up out of the ground straight. I might have to make some kind of bracket to hold it straight from the well casing over. I'd like to screw that new tank on where it lays kind of like level in there, just right above that casing, but in front of it. So it's not that high of a building I have to build to cover it. I actually have a box I'm thinking about making a building out of, but I'm going to worry about that later. I don't know. That's where I'm at. I just can't. I know that'll last 4 or 5 years, but if I last 4 or 5 years, I'm going to have to go through all this again. And I put this trailer in here in 2000, and I've been battling this well in this tank and that thing freezing for 25 years. If I stick that pipe up out of the ground and cover it up, I can redo my whole pressure switch setup, put in a gauge, solve all my problems all at one time. Close it in a little bit better than it has been. We usually just put a cone over that with a light bulb on it. As you can see, over the years, the light bulb melted the top of the casing, and they froze up because the light bulb blew in the middle of the night. And plus, I could even run a garden hose off of that because there's no garden hose connection here. I could even put an outside valve inside of that box, if I, and hang a hose on the side of it. I don't know. Like I say, I just threw that in there the old sick man way I did last time. I can't rest with it. So, hey, hopefully here soon you'll see a video of it done. I'll start gathering up the stuff and what I need to do. I actually have enough wiring and everything to rewire that switch over, and now we'll see what happens. I'll get you an update and get back on some of my other videos and see when I started this. All right, and so I'll have a good one, and it's Sunday. I'm going to take the rest of the day off and contemplate this. And so I'll have a good one.